the weak. Terror eternal in midnight we reap. No mercy given, just screams in the night. Revelation, midnight blue, yield to our might.
Ignite as midnight falls. Tonight, fear descends. We are the blades in darkness, the terror in your veins. Falling through ruin, hunt begins. We stalk the prey with silent rage. Lightning claws gleam with reflected moons. Chainsaws raw through bone and iron. Foxcasters wail with soul-torn cries, announcing death relentless dire. Trophies dangle, skin and skull. Painted warnings in the night. A flayed commander's final call. Signals, it's time to die. Avetus Dominus knocks. Talons in the night, no mercy, no dawn. We are Vengers reborn. We strike from shadows, jump back thunder, tearing apart the chain of command. Artillery crews and coward kings, no one escapes the Raptor's hand. High spires burn with plasma fire, urban labyrinth soaked in dread. Sonic screamers pierce the gloom, your courage breaks, your spirit fled. Night's own sons, wing bringers of despair. Nocturne's children feast on your fear. Brother to brother we leap and tear. Saboteur smiles as hope disappears. Lightning fast, shattering the stillness. Every note a shriek, every bend a kill. No sanctuary, no salvation. Night lords descend, let terror reign. Raptors feed in endless pain. Decapitation, annihilation, assassins in cobalt blue. Night Lord Raptors, kings of the night. Night Lord Raptors, kings of the night. Silence shatters, Vox alarms in vain. Marshal Gayer's reign stands tall, his oath, his last campaign. But shadows feast on valor, terror stalks the halls. Templar blood upon the steel, their doom within these walls. Bolt of fire and thunder, blade and screaming chain. The sons of curse move unseen, reaping Templar pain. Cut to static, ravens among doves. The slaughter erratic, no quarter given. Defenders torn, trophies taken before the dawn. Shatter the oath, bleed the pure. Flesh for the void, souls unshorn. Shatter the oath, bleed the pure. Flesh for the void, soul assured. Last night standing, blade agleam with fire, facing the Lord of Midnight Claws, true harbinger of dire. Chain blades clash and thunder roar, Ceramite splits with hate. No angels here, just shadows grim, he meets his wretched fate. No hope for coming back. Avetus Nox. Midnight dwells, we hunt, we strike. The oath is broken. The night is ours tonight. kings and godmen know the rampage never ends. Midnight rampage. One lord, one night. No mercy. And shattered manufactorum tunnels they move. Shadows in cobalt and lightning, warp scar trophies rallying on belts. The imperial fist hold the city's heart. Walls reinforced, armor columns staged, super heavy snorting steam like beasts, waiting for slaughter. Night lords study them like surgeons studying bone. No mercy, no warnings, contract accepted. They mark the first target, predator squadrons in golden paint, their ceramite gleaming under false stone lamps. Kraken rocket streak from ruinous rooftops, turning armored prows into molten blossoms of ruin. Fists scatter, disciplined, controlled. Night lords only laugh as they relocate, vanish, and fire. Rhinos carrying yellow helm zealotry. The devastators time their strike with the falling hot block wall. Missiles threading through dust clouds and detonating beneath the fuel tracks. Transports flip, crash, burn, terror glass shattering like brittle ice. Survivors crawl out, shouting out. The Night Lord step from the rubble and then the shouting. On the outskirts, the Imperial Guard armor rolls in. Leam and Rust companies brace to reinforce their starts betters. But the Terror Marines are already there, picking through smokestacks like carrion birds, lining up lost cannon and fire with clinical patience. Turrets burst, tracks shear off, machine spirits wail into the dark. The Guard never even sees their killers. Destroyed. They stalk it for hours through collapsing districts, mapping its heat, signature listening to its engine echo vibrate through ferrocrete. When they strike like executioners. Missiles hammering vent housings, last cannon and spearing weak points. Chain fire burrowing toward the reactor's heart. Inside the Titan, warning runes flash red. It dies screaming. was ready. Orders were clear. Purge the tunnels beneath Hive Hellbracht. Cultist activity reported. But the air stank of something older than heresy. Iron, rot, ozone, and the promise of pain. Pressed in, steel and concrete sweating, flickering lamps swayed on ruined wires. Sergeant Barkeep by shop, no heroics. Boots studded on no blood, shell casings crunch. I counted the squad, 56 plus Commissar Baron. But numbers don't matter in the dark, not here. Breath echoed inside rebreathers, shadows swam at the edges of the lamps. Graffiti crawled along the walls, skulls from the Lord of the Night. Pain is a gift. We remember the dark. Someone whispered, this is wrong. He was the tunnel, something moved. Heavy, deliberate metal on metal. A door creaked open, and there he stood. The Night Lord stepped through, eyes burning, armor stitched with flesh, chain sword as long as a coffin of mask, carved to look like death's own face. Lightning crackled around his claws. The butcher in the tunnel had arrived. He moved faster than fear. Guardsman Lewin was first. Clawed off the floor, bisected in the blink of a curse. Blood hit the ceiling, another screamed, bayonet shattering. A boot crushed his chest, ribs snapped like brittle glass. I shot him, last bolts fizzled off his armor. He smiled beneath that mask, chain swords revved, teeth howling. Sergeant's head was gone before it hit the ground. Chain sword humming, dripping red. legends. Only nightmare. This moment. Trenches fill with bodies, rats scatter bones, crunch underfoot. Blood churns with blood and rain, no mask, no courage, only death remains. I and the memory of fear. In the silence after the slaughter, my name endures. The Flayer of trenches, and the world is quiet, but for the sound of tearing flesh. A dead sun rose on Paraxis Prime. Ashwind screamed through basalt spires. A forged world choking on faith and fire. They said the fire drake stood watch here. Green armor, glowing coals for rise. Salamanders preaching duty and flame. We came to teach them how angels die. Execution bells, Ceramite is volcanic ground. Midnight armor, lightning crown. They stalk the dark where fear is loud. They cut the heads of the Promethean guard, leaving them dead, flail corpses across, sweeping the stone. We carve through heat, through smoke, through prayer. Left 12 heads of hell and broken bodies display. They call themselves the sons of Vulcan, the fireborn, the fire drakes. But fire screams when the shadows move, and courage breaks when terror wakes. Fear is stronger than fire. When the night descends to kill, fear is stronger than fire. Flames go dark, hearts go still. No forge can save you, no oath will endure. When the night lords whispers, there is no cure. Intercessors burn the streets in green, heavy flamers roaring bright. We walk straight through the furnace wall, laughing in the dying light. Aggressors fell, their gauntlets split, Prometheum bleeding in the dust. Infernus squad screamed inside their helms, faith reduced to rust. Salamanders hunted and ripped apart into a pool of blood. One by one, bodies stack up like trophies. Their banners torn, their scales in shards. Their heroic myths left old. Then came Captain Cadrus Pyrothane, Drake scale cloak, mastercrafted blade. He roared Vulcan's name to the sky, and charged where shadows waited unafraid. All blades met once, thunder and night. His firestorm split the ground, but terror is patient, terror is precise, and fear made not a sound. But the head of Captain void does not care who bleeds, only that the lessons pay. Only whispers drifting higher. On Pyraxis Prime they learn too late. Fear outlives fire. Born in Nostramo's midnight veins, where the sky bleeds thunder and the alleys whisper murder. The Contekar rise, armored in shadow, crowned in bone. Curses chosen avatars, executioners, not warriors, bears, walking judgments and cataphractic plate. Lightning claws, humming like prophecy. They speak no threat, their presence is the sentence. Blood on the bulkhead, death in the Vox, static gore on the steps of broken thrones. Murder as doctrine, perfected in silence. Erf Dominus Nox. Erf Dominus Nox. Kings drag screaming from palaces. False prophets flailed beneath execution lights. Rebellions ended in one night. Entire command staffs erased before dawn. They did not break lines, they unmade them. A single Contekar boarding torpedo could turn a cruiser into a floating tomb. Isman V remembers them still. Iron hands crushed beneath black thunder. Raven guard torn from the Universally against elite, black against black, but only one side used terror as a blade. Their executions were doctrine, their silence more lethal than bolter fire. They left survivors only to spread the scream. A single witness, a planet's morale dead on arrival. Night Lords don't need numbers, they need dread. And Contekar were the perfect instrument. Nostramo's night taught them mercy is right. Fear remains honest. Kersey's sons honor that truth with every campaign. Every corridor they cleared, every officer they dragged from hiding. Every warlord's dying breath on the blade, all part of the same gospel. Fear is the weapon, death is the punctuation. When the legend fractured, they did not fade. Some became warlords, some became hunters, some vanished into the void, still wearing skulls of former kings. The galaxy would forget armies, but it never forgets a Contekar kill mark carved into a throne room wall. They walk in midnight plate, eyes burning like execution lambs, footsteps writing prophecy in blood on the deck. Where they arise, courage rots. Where they strike, hope dies. Where they ascend, the galaxy remembers. Only screams, not champions, not heroes, not survivors. They're the ones who bring the final death. Herif Dominus Nox. Dox Dominus Nox. Skeletons of a dead manufacturer. Cold dolls, armor cloaks, helms gleaming like predatory moons. Autocannon nests unfold, missile racks hiss awake. Lost cannons swarming with the hum of promised ruin. Across the horizon, the first engines howl. Stormwolf gunships banking hard, searching for the third swarm bands below. The Skyreapers brace, the first falling scatter across gantries and fractured billboards. Last cannon screaming molten light into altitude. One Thunderhawk takes a glancing strike. Not death, but dismemberment. Owing tears free, spiring like a guillotine blade. The aircraft lurches, tail fin shearing against the Vox Tower. And the whole metal corpse tumbles into an under-high fuel depot that detonates like a newborn star. Another Thunderhawk tries to climb, too slow. Twin Kraken missiles punch straight through his dorsal plating. The fuselage bursts open mid-air, raining burning ceramite across a boulevard, where Emperor's children cheer the firestorm like a symphony. Interceptor jet screen past, javelin pattern back to the spilling fighters, cutting contrails of silver. The Skyreapers adjust elevation, switch to hypervelocity rounds, and fire into their paths with Nostramo and precision. One jet only takes a nick, a single round through the starboard turbine, but that's enough. The engine coughs, flame seizes, erupts. The craft car wheels to the side of a hot block, shattering 20 floors of windows in a cascading roar. Another fighter tries to break through, only to meet an Emperor's children sonic shrieker mine that detonates in a shockwave of pulsing distortion. Its wings crumble like scrap parchment, and it plummets like a stone into a maglev station. Every rooftop, every tower, every wreck entry, the Skyreapers vanish back into shadow.